Get away from her, you bitch!
Oh, shut up, you tart!
Who disrupts my coronation?
Get to the chopper!
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Retro-Vember episode of Hun Your Geek is Showing. I am that bitch, Callista Valentine. Joining me, as always, is the random man, Guy JB. How you doing, honey?
Hello. I'm good, Ty. Yourself? You're well,
I'm doing quite well, thank you. Despite the crappy weather, I'm doing quite well.
Good. Yes, I'm good. It's been a rather quiet weekend. So
I can imagine it must have been.
no gigs. Good God. Woo, what should I do?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Lying fallow.
Yes, you'll have to find another way to play with your strings.
Good grief. And with me, as ever, is Hendrix. He's hanging around.
Oh, God bless. Hendrix, our roving
is.
reporter from the fields.
Yes. And he's trying to get on my lap.
Oh, he just wants to snuggle with his pa.
He does. He loves his dad.
Yes. But moving swiftly on with tonight's episode, we're going to go into the shout-outs. And up first on this week's shout-outs, we have the mouth of the Southwest Derbyshire himself, Mr. Jimmy Clifford.
Of course we have.
And hello again, Eddie from Wish has appeared. Sorry about my viewing order of Highlander. My parents' fault. Due to the film's rating, I didn't watch the film, but was allowed to watch the TV show. Yeah, never made sense to me either. To be fair, the Highlander TV show, compared to the films, was heavily censored in terms of the fights and what they could and couldn't show. So that's understandable because it was broadcast at like tea time. So we'll let you off on that one because, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was all right for what it was.
The pilot show did have some boob. So it wasn't always tea time.
A little bit of titty. Alien Nation, loved that series. Have fond memories of this. May have to look for it. Sliders missed that show and never finished it. The watching list continues to grow. It does. I mean, that is one thing I will say about this little Retro-Vember thing we've been doing over here, that there are so many things that in research and like trying to whittle my list down to just my 5 picks, there's so many like shows and films and like subject cartoons that I've looked at and gone, I haven't thought about that in years.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's wonderful, the little trip down memory lane that something like this can kind of kickstart for people. So I'm glad that's been a weird little side effect of this, that it's kind of, for both of us, I suppose, we've kind of gone, oh shit, yeah, I forgot all about that one, until either we find it online or someone mentions it in the comments, we go, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that bitch. But anyway, you're going to lose more points, Jimmy, on that geek license of yours. This Farscape off my list. How I missed that, I'll never know. It's a space epic by the Jim Henson guys. Watch it. Anyway.
You've been told.
You have. I don't normally go for horrors. You may have sold Spit on Your Grave to me. Similar to Hannibal, the premise intrigues me. Looks like a dive into the deep end of what I can handle. Yeah, honestly, if you are not new, if you are new to horror, do not start with I Spit on Your Grave.
No.
You will regret it. You need to work up to that level. That's horror. Like I said, I was talking to my daughter about this. I said to her, it's one film that I will not allow her to watch. Because, as I said to her, it's the remake that I watched is the first time a film of that ilk for a very long time has actually unnerved me, has actually got under my skin and made me a bit like, So, yeah, I would not let my daughter watch it. And if you're new to horror, I would not. That's not just jumping in at the deep end. That's jumping in at the deep end with an open wound in shark-infested waters. That's what you're doing there. That's no.
With
I
bricks
would
tied
not.
to your ankles.
I would not recommend that for a first time getting into horror stuff. Work your way up. You can handle the remake of The Hills Have Eyes, then watch I Spit on Your Grave remake. Trust me, I've seen both. I know what I'm talking about in that regard because both are brutal remakes. Never got more geek points lost here, Jimmy. I never got into X-Files, watched a few episodes. Gotta thank it for giving us Walter White. Little trivia I know is Bryan Cranston had an episode and got picked for Breaking Bad because of this. So there you go, a little bit of trivia from Jimmy Lee there. From across the void. He'll get that reference. Now this one made me laugh because I went, wrong show, motherfucker, as soon as I read it.
Yeah.
PJ and Duncan. To this day, I still call them this, and I'm letting that generational knowledge sit there. Loved Grange Hill, still remember the paintball storyline. Jimmy, that was Biker Grove.
Biker Grove.
As soon as I read that, I was like, that was Biker Grove. That was not Grange Hill. You've crossed to over there. You've ghostbusted it. You crossed the streams. Yeah.
I don't know. I think we may have to give him a week ban.
I think we may have to. I think we may have to not include him until the end of this season, in the second half of the season. I think he's on a ban until then. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
January, start of February, Jimmy. I think you're on the naughty corner with the dunce hat, like in the old cartoons with the big pointy doink hat with the T on it. Yeah, that's him in the corner right now. That's him in the spotlight.
Exactly.
That's him losing his fucking geek religion.
That's where I was going with that. You trumped me.
Batman was next to OG Star Trek, my intro to older TV. Still good to watch. Yeah, that is another thing doing this, is like looking back and like watching clips and episodes of these shows. It's like, I remember why I love these so much as a kid now. Like, it's the nostalgia kick for things like this. It's kind of why we wanted to do this. It's just perfect time of year. Good look back before we move forward.
Yeah.
I see Thundercats appearing next week. I don't know. We'll see.
Why not?
Was a good
not now, just to...
show. Yeah, it was. It was a good TV show. I mean, for much like a lot of 80s cartoons, it was a toy. It was a cartoon to sell a toy. But it was good. It was, for what it was fun. It was entertaining.
Let's keep our powder dry.
We'll get there later. That's what she said and he said, and they all fucking said it. Up to it, did they? No, bastard. Sorry. I let my inner monologue slip out for a moment there. Anyway.
You did.
Twilight Zone, brilliant show. Nuff said, yeah, weirdly enough, my friend Mercy was around last night and we talked about, like, she just brought it up out of nowhere, like, classic good retro sci-fi show, Twilight Zone. And I was like, that was one of my picks last week. That was like my...
Did she not watch the show?
I think she may have done, because she did sort of point out, like, yeah. I was like, I see you. But yeah,
Come on, Mercy. You must view every week.
She does. I have actually seen she does view the show. She just doesn't comment very much. But it is making the more I've talked about Twilight Zone recently, the more it's made me want to track down the Blu-ray box set you can get that's got all 5 seasons of the original black and white show.
No, come on.
I'd love to get hold of those. Great list from both of you. Enjoyed this episode. List of 5 for this week's picks are from Jimmy Lee: Bots Masters, Skeleton Warriors, Mask, Gargoyles, Tom and Jerry. Signing off with a little cowboy emoji.
Fucking
He picked Gargoyles. That made me smile. Jimmy also made another comment.
No, bloody hell.
I must apologize, guy. My memory has blended 2 shows. That, albeit, are both retro classics, are different shows together. Callista has informed me about this. Kiwis have been used. So yeah, that was just him sort of apologizing for, because as soon as I got on party chat with him that night after reading that comment, I went, I do have to inform you that was Biker Grove. And as soon as I said it, he went, oh, it was, wasn't it? And I was like, yeah. So even he knew he fucked up as soon as I called him out on it. So it happens to the best of us. It happens.
It does.
But moving swiftly on, we have the man, the myth, the beard, the ginger one, Mr. JK47, the Ginger Ninja JK. And he says, I'm a huge Demons fan, because we mentioned the films and how I got the directors wrong, because I'm dumb like that sometimes. So that shows how I know. I grew up on it in the 80s. Spoke to Greta, who stars in it. I think maybe that's meant to be, I don't know.
Greta Thunberg?
I don't know. maybe. Even got the t-shirt. Ha 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 ha. I bet you have, and I'd love to see it in one of your videos. Stargate Universe was Robert Carlyle.
Thank you. There you go, yes.
Oh, and that was another thing I was supposed to message you about. I seen it last night on Prime. You were saying you couldn't find Stargate anywhere to watch. It's on Prime, but it leaves in 4 or 5 days. So,
well, that's fucked it.
Yeah, but it is on Prime. Stargate is on Prime for the next few days.
Oh, bloody balls.
Yes. Going on. This one has put a smile on my face.
Oh.
The Curse of the Pumpkin Glory Holes. I'd pay to see that. You know what? After making that joke just off the cuff last week, the amount of people that I've spoken to have gone, do you know what? You should do that. Just as a tip of the hat, cheap, low budget, cheesy horror movie. And I'm like, you know what? I'm very tempted to sort of put pen to paper, come up with a rough, crappy script, see if I can do like a Kickstarter or something, and see if maybe this could be our first feature film, Revenge of the Pumpkin Glory Holes.
I thought it was the Curse of the Pumpkin Glory Holes.
Look, but Curse, Revenge, maybe we got a franchise on our hands. Who knows?
Oh, cool.
I mean, look how well Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey took off.
Yeah.
They got a fucking sequel. Maybe I'm just saying, I'm so tempted to go, you know what? Just as a laugh, see what kind of plot outline I can come out with, and like what sort of setting and explanation is for people sticking their dicks in pumpkins and getting them bit off. You know, it's like
it's a pumpkin glory hole, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, if I can.
Oh, I've got her again, folks.
That caught me off guard. Thank you for that. But yeah, I'm seriously considering making this our first production.
Fair enough.
Just as a joke, just as a bit of fun. You know, why not? If you're going to make a movie, at least do something that's going to make you giggle while you're making it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Have fun while you're doing it.
Along with lemon nimoy pie.
That could be like a background.
Callback.
That could be. Do you know what? That's what we could do actually. In the background, we could do Easter eggs from the show, like things we said, banners and stuff in the background, like Leonard Nimoy pies 2 for $5. In the background, like a pie stall in a market or something.
Yeah.
Let me sit with this. If I can come up with a good enough story, I may pursue this and see what happens.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
In reference to his videotapes, this one made me go. They are the original Star Wars before any special editions. I'll post them on the FB page.
Yeah, I've seen it.
They are holy grail pieces for collectors, honestly. Like, you kind of made me want to go and have a look and see if I can find the one that you haven't got and see what kind of price it is, because, you know, maybe collectively
about.
Maybe collectively from the channel, it could be a Christmas present to JK.
Oh.
You know, I'd have to remortgage my life, but...
Yeah, and then there's the cost of shipping it over to bloody Oz.
He goes on to say, I watched a lot of TV and movies growing up, same. How did I not mention the X-Files? Great series. I'd also put The Outer Limits, which started in 1995, because that had Alyssa Milano in an episode. Yeah, The Outer Limits, that was another one that was up for consideration for me, because I was like, it's 95, it's close to our cut-off point, But because X-Files started 93, it was just that little bit earlier. I went, play it safe, X-Files. It's
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Oh, what an I think of Charm. For fuck's sake.
Well, that was 2000s though, wasn't it? Late 90s into the 2000s, like Buffy.
Hold on.
Adjudicator.
Adjudicator. She will come back to us in a second. Well, I thought you remember you were a big fan. She thinks it's 90s.
Yes, I think it was 97 it started, wasn't it?
Yeah, that would make it eligible.
Yeah, and Buffy was 97, so we could have gone with that, but I don't know. Anyway, it goes on to say Nightmare. The only Nightmare I know was a video board game series. Lots of fun.
Cool. We're just in from the Adjudicator in 1999.
That's
It could sliver in the back door.
that's the 11th hour. That's like, don't forget us.
It could sliver in the back door just like JK wants to do to Alyssa Milano there.
Yes. And if you like Alyssa Emiliano, can I suggest one of the Poison Ivy sequels? Because she is in that. And you see a lot of her in that. It used to get shown on Channel 5 an awful lot back in the day.
JK, I'll have it on DVD.
On Blu-ray and high def and 4K.
Virtual reality.
Sensor vision.
Remember that Red Dwarf episode?
Oh, tangent there. There's an outtake where he's got the crotch piece on and he goes to walk out the thing without taking it off, and you see Craig Charles just go, "Oh, I nearly ripped my cock off." But anyway, back to continuing.
Yes.
Yes, Nightmare. The only Nightmare I know was a video board game series. Lots of fun. Yes, I do remember that. It was a spin-off from Atmosphere. It was like a VCR board game. You put the tape in, and as it was playing through, whatever it told you to do on the video, that's what you did on the board.
Right.
But because it was the time of VHS, once you'd played it once, you knew what was coming every time.
Yeah.
So, it was good for first-time players, but if you played it like 6 or 7 times, it's like you could cheat the game, basically.
Yeah.
But anyway, cartoons, here we go. Deep breath for the list. Astro Boy, Star Blazers, Tekkaman Blade, or as we knew it over here in the UK, Techno Man. Spider-Man, X-Men, He-Man, Skeleton Warriors, Robotech, Danger Mouse, Banana Man, Inspector Gadget, Pinky the Brain, Our Real Monsters, Ren and Stimpy, The Tick, and one of my favorites, and in my opinion, most underrated, Duckman. Great episode. Yes, Duckman. I fucking loved that show because it was just so off the wall and so... It was a duck who was a private investigator, and he had a pig who was his sidekick, who years later, I didn't find this out until years later, was voiced by the guy who played Grimlock in Transformers.
Oh, cool.
So, 6 degrees of separation there.
Yeah.
He was like, what? Grimlock is the voice of that pig? What? So, yes, that is the comment from JK.
I'm very surprised that JK got Banana Man out in the Land of Oz there.
Yeah, true. I mean,
very quintessentially British.
Explain that one to us in the comments, JK, how you were able to watch Banana Man. We want to know. We want to know the story behind Banana Man.
Yeah.
No, that's not a stripper name. Anyway, final comment, top comment of the week, because they got it in last. It is over from the Retro Movie Zone, the Calico Crichton himself, the son of the Pertwee, Tony Harris.
Oh, Tony got the headline spot.
Yep, he got top billing. Evening, lovely people. Have to say, I'm getting a real buzz out of this whole Retro-Vember thing. Thank you.
I thought he was going to say something else that he was getting, but...
Anyway, also loving the list format where you both pick your top 5 retro TV shows and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's kind of been our thing for a while, picking 5 and then just running with it. Oh, microphone. Snap, mic. I am not Jake Paul. I'm not slapping that mic.
Um,
Anyway,
you were-
most of my favorite podcasts run the same format, and I absolutely adore it. Some great choices from both of you, and I'll be showing off my top 10 retro TV shows any week now. I'm sure you will, Tony.
when you remember.
Yeah. Keep up the excellent work as loving this season. Live long and prosper, both of you. Thank you, Tony. So, yes, that's the comments for this week. So, we'll roll in very nicely to that question asked since the dawn of time when Tony was a young boy in primary school and he turned around to Fred Flintstone and said, "Hey, Fred, what you been watching, mate?"
Ah, cool. Who's going first?
You can go first, my lovely host, co-host.
Right. Well, bloody hell, what a week it's been. My life. Whew. So, for most of the week, guess what I've been watching? Arrow. And it has been marvelous. But last night, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you,
Yes,
we were trial free.
I got a message about this.
Yes, you did. I binge watched the latest episodes of Cobra Kai. Oh, live. Fantastic.
That's my binge watch for tomorrow.
Oh my! Well, you've got to carry on. You've got to catch up. You're on the first part of the series.
I'm going to go back to the beginning of season 6 and just binge watch it all the way through.
Yeah.
I'm going to supernatural it. I'm going to watch it all in one day.
Oh my God, it's so intense. It's got some of the best fight choreography I have seen in years, people, years.
One thing we're solely lacking in films these days is proper fight choreography.
But there is also laughs and drama. So, ow, Hendrix, claws. Sorry.
I was wondering when that was going to happen.
Like I say, mate. Anyway, so yeah, there was that. Then we followed swiftly on with only bloody Deadpool and bloody fucking Wolverine.
I watched that as well.
Oh, what a treat for the eyes.
It really is, isn't it?
Oh my life, there is such fan service in this. Oh my God.
The references, the
Yeah.
callbacks, the blink and you'll miss it moments, the cameos that I've been finding out about with certain actors under certain suits. It's like, oh, yeah, cheeky fuckers.
Yeah.
It's like that Brad Pitt cameo from the second one where he shows up getting electrocuted. That's it. That's his cameo. It's like, you hid these cameos with costumes, you bastards.
Fucking fantastic. And little asides to camera and fourth wall breaks. Oh, it's just brilliant.
I'm going to Disneyland.
Yeah. But, even like House of M, fucking Wolverine, and,
Age of Apocalypse Wolverine.
brown
that one
suit
got a
Wolverine.
squeal out of me. That one got a proper squeal out of me. I was like, oh!
Brown suit Wolverine.
Set my heart a-fluttering.
It did.
And other bits as well, like in the background, like Liefield's only feet, because there's a little jab at him that he can't draw feet.
Yeah. So yeah, just oh my God! If you want action galore and laughs galore, people, if you've not seen it, Tony, get it watched.
Yes, it is definitely worth the watch. I mean, me, folks, viewers, my kind of feelings on the previous stuff. The MCU clause.
Yeah.
The previous outings with the MCU have left me less than satisfied, less than impressed.
Yeah, but
this for
what
me,
a cure!
It's that punch in the arm the MCU has needed, and I honestly think that if they're going to continue going down this route with more X-Men characters, more X-Men movies, and things like that, and bringing in these characters that we've wanted to see for a long time be part of the MCU. Honestly, I'm actually now starting to look forward to the MCU again because it's like finally doing something different. And fan theory time, my tinfoil hat is going on my head.
Mm,
Blade shows up in this film. We all know this at this point. And the bit where he pops up and he goes, because they're talking about like different things, and he pops up and he goes, "There's only been one Blade, and there's only ever gonna be one Blade." Honestly, makes me think that Blade is coming to the MCU, and it's not the Blade that we thought we were gonna get. It's gonna be a Wesley Snipes Blade because the new costume, the new like little grey bit in his hair and everything.
yeah.
This looks like an MCU-fied version of Blade. Is this? I'm hoping this is just my little theory. I really do think that by that line, it's like they're going to bring him back to do Blade, much like Hugh Jackman's coming back to play Wolverine after retiring the character with Logan.
Mm.
You know, I think that bringing some of these older character backs and giving them another chance, other than just the little bit in the film.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's the way forward the MCU is going to go. So fingers crossed. But yeah, I watched that as well. So that's part of what I've been watching.
Mm. And just to finish off, Day of the Jackal.
Oh, is that the new show you were talking about?
Yes, the new TV series of it. It is
good.
Fucking hell, it's great. It is really good. It's stylish. It's shot beautifully. The music's brilliant. The acting is off the chain good. Eddie Redmayne is fantastic as a cold-blooded assassin. In fact, Eon Productions and Broccoli's, if you listen, he would make a fantastic Bond villain. He is really good. Shout out to Lanasha. I'm going to make a balls of her name, but she's in it. She plays the MI6 operative that's going after him. She's fantastic. It's just a tour de force so far, and it's very close. It's a lot closer to the original film with the fantastic Edward Fox.
I may have to see about tracking this down somewhere and giving it a viewing.
Yeah, it's just it's a treat for the eyes.
Good. I love a good visual display as well as a narrative in a film.
Yeah, some of the locations they go to.
When you've got great visuals. I mean, that is one thing I will say about Moon Knight. Some of the story fell a little bit flat for me, but the visuals, like the out in Egypt with the pyramids in the streets and stuff like that, visually, it was a beautiful show to watch. But it was just a few episodes were like, get to the fucking end.
Yeah. So, I know Tony is a fan of Day of the Jackal. So, Tony, get your ears on.
Get on platform it, Tony.
Yeah, it's on Sky, so get it bloody watched.
Yeah, you got no excuses. No excuses there, Tony.
No more of your excuses. Get it on. Over to you. What you been watching there?
Well, I have been continuing my watch through of Two Broke Girls. I'm at the back end of season 2 now. It's been pretty good. There was one joke in an episode the other night. I'm not going to go into it. I don't want to discuss it because I was too busy kind of laughing at the situation they were in to be offended by the joke. And plus, I didn't realize this, but the season I'm watching is from 2013, so it's from 11 years.
Right, yeah.
I didn't realize it was quite that old. So, you know, I was kind of like, I can let it slide a little bit, but it was just like, you son of a bitch. But the situation they were in, it was like, I can't help but laugh because it's a visual comedy.
Yeah.
Shit was falling down around them. Basically, everything was just collapsing around them. And it's just like, I can't help but laugh because it's, you know.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit, but other than that, I am enjoying it. Last night, because my friend came around for an impromptu visit, we sat and watched Grease.
Who?
I watched an episode of Arrow.
Nice.
And what else have I watched? Wolverine and Deadpool. That was discussed. I watched that twice. I watched it the day it was available for streaming. I was like, this afternoon, I've got nothing to do this afternoon. I put an afternoon to one side to be able to watch it. Sat and watched it, phone switched off, no interruptions, and I freaking loved it.
Yeah.
Was again.
Yeah.
He's dealing with his own little Wolverine over there. I thoroughly fucking enjoyed it. I mean, from start to finish, it had me either giggling or going, oh, and pointing in the background and spotting little visual clues. And the kind of subverting expectations with certain characters, like they pop up and then just
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think, like I said a minute ago, if this is where the MCU is going to be like going forward,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Keep
Too right.
more like this. Doesn't always
Mm.
have to be comedy, but more like this kind of quality
Yeah.
where you're actually invested in the characters and you give a shit about what's going on, and you don't fumble the fucking ending into oblivion like you did with Secret Invasion. Like,
Yeah.
please don't do that. Like, come on, you can save Marvel. You got Deadpool and you got Wolverine now. Come on.
That's it.
They
Yeah.
can't save the MCU, then no fucker can. I'm sorry.
Too right.
Two most
Right then.
things. Anyway,
Is it time for the meat?
that's pretty much what all I've been watching this week. So let's rock it on and roll it on. We are going to talk retro cartoons this episode.
Course it is.
Anything pre 2000. Okay, that's been the one rule with any of
Yep.
these episodes. If it's pre 2000, it's eligible. So I'm going to throw it over to you first, Guy. With
Okie
your
dokie.
first pick, what you going to throw our way tonight?
Well, it's time to fire up the Higgins time machine, which I cobbled together out of an old Ford Cortina and some bits and bobs out in the shed.
Yeah, sponsored by Frosty Jack Cider, so it's the shape of the big bottle.
I'm mentioning that yet. That's still under.
Right.
Still working the legals out. So it's time to head back to 1978 or 1972. It's time for Battle of the Planets
Yes.
in 1978 or in 1972. Science Ninja Team Gatchaman over in Japan.
Yes, it was one of those early shows that was adapted for American audiences, along the lines of did the same thing in the 80s with Battletech.
Yes, and they did the same thing in the 90s with the Power Rangers.
Yes, so it's not the first time we've gone, oh, look what Japan's doing.
Yeah.
It's ours now.
Towers. Now we're going to cut.
We changed it. It's ours.
Now we're cutting out anything that's a bit fruity or a bit too violent.
Yes.
We're putting an annoying robot in.
Yeah. But yeah, I do remember watching the show. I remember catching reruns of it on, I think it was Fox Kids used to show it.
Yes.
At some
Yes, that's when it became Eagle Riders.
Yes.
Because they did it again.
Well, no, I do actually remember seeing it as Battle of the Planets. That's what I mean. I do remember seeing it as Battle of the Planets.
Yes, but they also turned it into G-Force in the 90s, and then Eagle Riders later on in the 90s, all using the same 70s source material from Japan.
Redubbing it.
Redubbing it and redubbing it again and rewriting it again and rewriting it again.
Do you know what, right? I bet there's that many dubbed versions of it. You could probably make like one of those music videos they do where they take like little sound clips from each version of it and just mash it up together to make like a weird song. I'm sure they could do that.
So yes, there was one series with 85 episodes.
Yeah. Fuck.
And they don't fuck around back then.
Oh no, what? Especially in Japan. I mean,
Yeah.
Their seasons are like a year long. That's why you get like 85, 90 episodes for a season.
Yes.
It's ridiculous, but fair fucking play. But yeah, I do remember that show.
Great. Team of 5 superheroes come together dressed as birds, but they look cool. But they look cool, folks.
Although the bad guy looked camp as fuck.
That's why I liked him.
I know! Same!
Look, camp as fuck. And their baddies, like the army baddies, wore flares.
Yeah.
How cool were they?
Lots of black leather as well for the bad guys.
They're flares and boots on.
Yeah. It was like, how disco? How disco is this?
It was awesome. So, yeah.
Brilliant show.
It was a brilliant show. And if you can, go onto YouTube because they've got English dubbed versions of Gatchaman.
Yes, I have seen some of those.
And it's actually far superior because you don't get the annoying 7-Zark-7 robot. Because that was the annoying part of the show. But no, watch it.
Yes, if you've never seen it, give it a viewing because it's no matter what version you watch of it, you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, it's retro, it's cool, it's got wicked vehicles and action galore. So
Yes, exactly. So,
mm,
and I take it by that grunt, it's my turn.
yeah, settle down.
Right. I'm going to go with my most recent pick.
Mm.
It's the one that's like closest to our time point currently.
Oh,
From 1985 to 1991.
oh.
The adjudicator will be pleased for this one.
No.
Because I am, of course, talking about those lovely, wonderful jumping here and there and everywhere. I am, of course, talking of the gummy bears.
Gummy bells bouncing here and bouncing everywhere.
I fucking
Oh,
love.
hold on. We got a fun fact from the adjudicator.
Jensen Ackles also picks that as one of his top favourite children's TV shows of all time. And he can sing the theme tune.
Oh, well, then I can marry him now, then.
There you go. Over the adjudicator's dead body.
I think over a lot of ladies' dead bodies. I think there'd be a Hunger Games styled fucking
But
no, battle royale style fight to be his wife. There would be. But yeah, gummy bears, just absolute classic. I mean, I was talking to my friend Amy about this earlier, and it's one of those shows that you know exactly when it came out just by the animation style.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, God, yeah.
you see that animation style, and there are so many shows that just fit that mold perfectly. And the theme tune, like, we just cracked out there, like, instantly.
Yeah, bang.
We know it. You know, it's just, what can I say? Classic stories. The characters were just, the
They
bad
were
guys.
dashing and daring and courageous and caring.
Yes, and the bad guys were, for me, were kind of the highlight because of just how incompetent they got at times.
Oh, are we talking Stormtrooper levels?
I don't know. At least in Gummy Bears, they occasionally hit a target. Stormtroopers can't even claim that.
Ah.
Hot take there. But yeah, that is my first pick.
Awesome. Right. My turn, number 2. Right. We're traveling back even further, folks. We're going back to 1940.
Was that 40 or 14?
40.
40.
40.
But sorry, didn't quite hear you. But anyway.
Because we need some animal on animal ultra violence. Yes. Tom and Jerry, folks.
I was going to put it on my list, but I had a feeling that you would, so I didn't.
Yes. And
I was like, we've talked before privately about our love for Tom and Jerry, and I had a feeling it would crop up on your list. So,
not the sucky 90s version. Fuck that.
No.
When they're talking.
The classic Tom and Jerry. Now, one thing I will say, and this is actually pointed out on, if you buy modern release DVDs of those classic episodes, it does come up with a big disclaimer at the beginning of it about some of the racial stereotypes that we used at that time. But, and I think this is very, very brave of, I think it's MGM who owns the rights. It's very brave of them to say that we decided to include these cartoons in their entirety because to not do so is to pretend that these things didn't happen. They weren't acceptable then. They're not acceptable now. But to pretend it didn't happen is to forget history. And I think on one DVD collection, there's actually an introduction by Whoopi Goldberg giving that whole little speech of like, you know, if we get, you know, the worst thing we can do about negative history is to forget it.
Yeah.
And that's true. If we forget it, we're going to repeat it. So, but Jerry's fucking brilliant.
It's problematic in some areas because of, if you didn't know, bit of trivia for you, her name was Mama Two Shoes.
Yes.
Because you only ever saw her shoes and heard her voice.
Yes. And that was kind of one of the controversies of it as well.
But I mean, it can't be beat, can it? Just absolute uber ultra violence.
You know what, right? The sound of somebody getting hit by a frying pan.
Yeah.
For me, the sound effect that I do, the ba-ding for me, comes from watching those Tom and Jerry cartoons because that's the
Yeah.
noise it makes when he tries to hit Jerry with a frying pan. It's ding, 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 ding. So that noise is just ingrained in my brain. So yeah, Tom and Jerry is still going strong. There's even movies coming out kind of recently, but we don't like to talk about those.
Nah, we'll see.
Again, spoke to my friend Amy about this. In the 90s cartoon movie that they did, the minute they started talking, I turned that fucking thing off. I was like, Tom and Jerry don't talk. They don't talk.
No. Tom occasionally screams.
Yeah, screams, fine. But actually having full-on conversations and dialogue and doing like dance no, that's not Tom and Jerry for me. Sorry, it's not.
No, it's not. So yeah, I mean 161 episodes in the original run. Gotta hand it to them, folks. Because
yes.
you know, it's just what else do you need? Tom getting a bomb fed to him, and he blows up and he goes all charred and black. All birds going around his head, everything. It's
one of my favorite Tom screams. It's a double Tom scream. Is he's doing something to Jerry's. That's it. He's trying to put a bear trap into Jerry's mouse hole, and he sat there waiting for him. But Jerry snuck round and put it underneath him. So Tom falls back, snaps shut, screams, shoots up, smashes through the ceiling. Then he's there dangling with his head through the ceiling, the bear trap on his ass, and he's screaming, but it's slightly muffled because his head's through the ceiling. So you get this This is like, I can't help but laugh at that. Laugh at that.
How brilliant is it?
Yeah, it's just.
It just takes just the simplest concept. Cats don't like mice.
Yeah.
Simple as. Boom.
And 9 times out of 10, the mouse comes out on top by the end of the episode as well.
That's because he's a cunning little bastard.
He fucking is. Jerry's a smug little cunt at times.
He is. But yeah, so that would be me.
Yes, Tom and Jerry, very, very good choice there. Moving on with my next pick, we're going to go to the wonderful year of 1969.
Ooh.
First appearance of those wonderful teens in their mystery machine going around with their Great Danes, Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
Again,
of Scrappy-Doo.
Agreed. Scrappy-Doo, get in the bin. You can go to the Void place in Deadpool and Wolverine. That can be the next cameo. Scrappy-Doo shows up there and fucking Deadpool shoots him.
Yeah.
Pow. How's that for puppy power? You know.
Yeah.
I digress, but yes, Scooby-Doo, culturally, much like Tom and Jerry, cannot be understated just how big Scooby-Doo really is, because you've had multiple iterations of the cartoon.
Yeah.
You know, where, you know, they've even had like a pup named Scooby-Doo where it was the kids when they were younger. You've had live action movies, live action TV specials, up-to-date modern day cartoons, a crossover with Supernatural.
Porn parodies.
Yeah. I wasn't going to go there, but okay.
You know, you're getting big. If you're getting porn parodies, you're getting big.
Yeah. It's like in the music world. If you get a Weird Al parody, you know you've made it.
That's it. Boom.
Yeah, just Scooby-Doo. Need I really say anything more? The premise was always the same. The kids would show it somewhere. It was supposedly haunted, and Scooby-Doo taught us the greatest life lesson ever: that the real monsters are actually people.
Yeah.
So, need I say anything more about good old Scooby-Doo?
Zoinks.
Raggy. Sorry.
Ready? Scoop up, buddy, old pal.
Best I can do with my throat at the minute. I do apologize. My glasses. I can't see without my glasses.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, speaking of crossovers, another retro cartoon that I loved, the crossover episode they did with Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
If you've never seen that episode, there's some wink, wink, nudge, nudge moments at that where they do the classic Scooby-Doo thing where they're on about splitting up.
You fucking twat.
And it's like, Daphne's like, oh, you go with this, and I'll go with you. And it's like, and Fred goes up to her and goes, Daphne, you know, we always, you know, search on our own because, you know,
Mhm.
And then there's like this eye movement. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah. So Fred will come with me. And it's like, I bet he will. Even in a kid's cartoon, it's like that. It's what we all thought. It was funny how Fred and Daphne always went off alone. And then there was about 5 minutes worth of cartoon where you did not know what they were doing.
Yeah,
Just saying, fan theory, they were fucking.
of course they were.
But yeah, Scooby Doo, absolutely fantastic cartoon and fantastic franchise that is still running even now. So, hats off to you, Mr. Scooby. On to your next choice, then, Guy.
Right, it's time to come a bit closer to the present. It's 1986. It's the future. Earth is in trouble again. There's always one man who wants to take over the world. It's Doc Terror, the cyborg, his assistant hacker. It's the bloody Centurions, folks.
Yes, yes,
Power extreme.
yes, and a TV show and toy line that is actually getting a lot more love just recently. Because I've talked
Yes.
about this on the show before. There is a third-party company that's doing
Mhm.
non-official, like they're named
Yeah.
differently, but they look blatantly like what they're meant to. But
Yeah.
apparently, the wrinkle in that is they are now actually trying to acquire the license to get an official release with the backing of, I think it was Mattel.
Yeah.
Think, but they are trying to get an official branded name release so they can actually officially name their product. But yeah, from what I've seen of early test stuff, it looks like those old toys we had as a kid, where it's the big figure with the modular ports everywhere, and you can buy all the sets and clip them together. And I was like,
And mix and match.
yes, you can mix and match, and it's one of those new toy lines that every time I see like a product tease, I'm like, I'm tempted. I'm tempted because I had the originals. It's
Yeah.
it's that nostalgia pull that these toy lines prey
Yeah.
upon. You know, I'm feeling it with these. It's like they do look exactly like those old toys, just modern with modern articulation and modern.
So basically, what it is, for those who don't know,
Yeah.
if you're young and not old farts like us too, yeah. So you got the Centurions, who are a team of Max Ray, Jake Rockwell, Ace McCloud, who wear specially made exosuits, which you
Yes.
can bolt weapons onto for what they need to do.
Yes, and each member of the team represents Army, Navy, and Air Force, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes.
Yes. Hence the slightly different colours between the three.
Yes. Trying to beat off. Sorry, no, not trying to beat off. Trying to rid the world of Doc Terror and Hacker.
There you are with those porn parodies again, Guy.
Yes. Sorry. But but yeah, this again out 2 series, so about 100 odd episodes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they went long back in the day.
Yes, they did. I remember most shows back then. I think most cartoon seasons had anywhere between 45 and 65 episodes,
Yeah.
I believe.
This isn't streaming on a particular platform. I think you can get episodes on YouTube.
I think there's one or two, but I don't think they're full,
Yeah.
like full seasons. I think
Yeah,
there's
the
odd
problem.
episodes here and there.
I think the problem is a ownership issue. I don't know who owns the rights. I'm not sure anyone knows who owns the rights.
Well, like I said, when it comes to the toy line, I'm pretty sure it's Mattel. But when it comes to the cartoon, I think it's split between like 3 different studios, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Because I know Sunbow were a big
Mm.
cartoon producer in the 1980s. I think they own part of the rights to it, like distribution rights.
Yeah,
I think actual IP and everything else belongs. Yeah.
we don't know.
We'll check. Coming next week's episode, we'll check our facts. We'll report back on this one because I'm not too sure on that
Yeah.
one. It's very much.
Or we'll give you all homework and you lot find out. And
Yeah,
put it down in
there
the
you go.
comments.
Drop it in the comments and remember to like and subscribe while you're there and hit the bell notification.
Yeah, because Jesus, why have we got to do all the work?
Yeah.
You'll have homework.
So does that move us on to my next pick then?
It does, yes.
Right then, I'm going to go a little bit forward.
Ooh.
1983 from my last pick. I have one up on my shelf. You can't see it because it's ever so slightly off camera. But I'm talking about those wonderful bears that love to care, the Care Bears. Don't be so mean. Don't be so mean.
Girls cartoon, rubbish.
I loved Care Bears and My Little Pony when I was growing up. I wasn't really supposed to be watching programs like that. And yeah, but anyway, but shut up. I love Care Bears. It had a movie. It was part of the whole big marketing toy line advertisement thing of the 1980s. It was Reaganomics gone nuts. And I bought into that shit, even though I wasn't allowed the toys because, circumstances. I'm not going to go into it. But anyway,
Yeah.
Care Bears has always been one that I always look to, and I'm like, I remember watching that when I was a kid. I remember watching the movie on Saturday mornings when there was nothing else on TV. Had it on VHS. Weirdly enough, I had a VHS tape. Right, this should include my parents in, really, shouldn't it? Transformers the movie was the first film on there. The next 3 films: My Little Pony movie, Care Bear movie, and the Pound Puppy movie. Should include my parents in a little bit, shouldn't it?
Maybe.
Just saying, robots that can change shape and then ponies. Oh, I'm slapping my mic around tonight.
Will you stop this mic slapping? You slap him off camera.
He likes that, though.
Yeah, I bet he does.
But yeah, okay, so that was my pick, Care Bears. Moving swiftly on to your next pick, Guy.
Cool. Well, I liked 86 so much, I'm staying there. Hooray! It's time for Defenders of the Earth.
Yes. Again, we've had mentions of this show before on here. We talked about the toy line that NECA have recently done.
Yeah.
They've done several different color schemes of those as well, and I think that's brilliant because they've done cartoon accurate, but then they've also done comic book accurate for each of the characters from like their original comic book origins. Like you've got Flash Gordon in the bright red jumpsuit from the original comics. And I was like, do you know what? I don't buy too many NECAs these days because they're quite expensive to get hold of for me nowadays. But those Defenders of the Earth ones, I'm like, if they did a box set with all of them, I'd drop the money on that. I would.
Why have one superhero? Because it was originally supposed to be a Flash Gordon. When you could have fucking 3.
Yes.
Oh, no, yeah. Because you have Flash Gordon, you have Mandrake the musician. So you have Flash Gordon, Mandrake the magician, Lothar, and the Phantom.
Who had his own film starring Billy Zane. Trivia there for you. Well, it was shit, but I mean,
it was shit.
It was early 90s. Comic book movies were thin on the ground.
It was shit.
We were caught between Batman and Blade. It was either that or Shaquille O'Neal as Steel. Yeah, I'd rather watch The Phantom.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. But
Shadow is pretty good too.
Over in Cartoon Land. So you have those 3 versus Ming the Merciless.
With his 10 rings.
With his 10 rings. I ain't going near that one. But yeah, great cartoon, great animation, great action.
Yeah.
And the catchiest theme tune. Defenders of the Defenders. And yeah, I could go on. YouTube it, folks.
Yeah. Clips of
but yeah.
Around, like different clips of them doing, like the guy, is it Lothar riding on the top of the elephant, just like a motherfucking boss, just stood up like, and yeah, no, I want an elephant. Fuck you.
One series, 65 episodes.
Sorry, random thought just popped in when I said Defenders of the Earth live action movie. Samuel L. Jackson as Lothar.
That'll do it. Yeah.
John Cena as Flash Gordon.
Yeah, okay.
Benedict Cumberbatch as Mandrake.
Bit too close to.
I know, that's the joke.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's it. Well, you heard it here, folks.
What about the Phantom? Who would you fan cast as the Phantom if they did a Defenders of the Earth movie?
Not fucking Billy Zane. No, I would have fucking hell, what's his name? What's his name? Hangover. Oh, fuck's sake. Played face in the 18 movie. Come on, what's his name?
I didn't
Oh, fucking Jesus.
watch the 18 movie.
Oh shit, can't remember his name. So fuck knows.
Anyway,
Someone else.
I'd say, just because he's popular as fuck at the minute, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, okay, I could see him being Phantom. You'd have to bulk up a bit.
If he was clean shaven,
Yeah, you'd have to bulk up a bit and all.
yeah, but I think he could do it. Like, because the Phantom suit is very similar to like the Black Panther suit. It's very one piece figure.
It's a onesie.
So you could hide a lot of the stuff with like muscles in the suits, you know. So do you know what? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
There's a little fan casting from Calico there. You know, Defenders of the Earth movie. That's our fan casting choice.
Shit up. Right.
There you go.
It's time
For
for your penultimate choice.
Yes,
Lovely.
my second to last choice. We're going to roll the clock back to their very first appearance, 1958. They didn't have their own show at first. They were a supporting character for the Huckleberry Hound show. We're talking the one who is smarter than the average bear, always after them picnic baskets, boo-boo. We are, of course, talking Yogi fucking Bear.
Oh my
Not
god.
Huggy Bear, not Huggy Bear, Yogi Bear, the OG.
The original cocaine bear.
Yes, because he must have been on something to be so fucking hungry for picnic baskets all the time.
Pick-a-nick baskets, not picnic baskets. Pick-a-nick.
Picnic baskets, boo boo. Not counting that crappy live action movie they did. Please don't count that. But no, I grew up watching Yogi Bear, like the original sort of cartoony they did with him. The cartoon,
Yeah, I saw that.
cartoon movies. There was loads of them in the 80s. Like what was it? I remember one where he basically made a car out and it made like a giant picnic basket, roller skates. I can't remember the plot of it, but yeah, Yogi Bear was part of my childhood growing up. So I could not do a list without including Yogi Bear.
And the game warden as well.
Ranger Jones.
Ranger Jones, that was it. Yeah, he was very much the Officer Dibble of the.
Yeah, apparently that was actually sort of the
inspiration.
sort of inspiration for that kind of character was like, you know, well,
very top cat.
Yeah, very, very well meaning, but slightly sort of stupid.
Yeah.
You know, so I loved an honorable mention there, Top Cat.
Yeah.
Goes right there along with it because there were a lot of Hanna-Barbera cartoons where they crossed all the characters over.
Yeah.
I remember watching like big animated specials where it was like all of them, Captain Caveman and all that lot thrown up in there as well. So, but yeah, I think Hanna-Barbera in general is a retro cartoon cavalcade.
Oh god, we could do an episode on Hanna-Barbera.
I think we probably should later on down the line. But yeah. Yogi Bear is right up there with one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Cat farted?
Yeah, fucking
Thank God it's not smell-o-vision, everyone.
Oh, jeez.
Right. That leads us very quickly on then, Guy, to your next pick.
Oh, I can't concentrate. They're stinging my eyes. Can't fucking see.
Oh, he should change his name to Hitler. He's stuck in the gas chamber.
Oh, fucking Christ. Yeah, take that fucking smug look off your face, you little cunt.
All right, then, come on, Guy.
Yeah, sorry. Right, so.
Of the night.
My last pick. We had a little tease last week, so I thought I'd better slide it in properly and go for Thundercats, ladies and gentlemen.
Of course.
The OG series, not the crappy remakes.
No.
Because they are shit.
Yes.
With a capital shit. Yeah, so back in 1985, we have a race of humanoid cats.
Yes, cat-like beings.
Cat-like beings. All loosely based on jungle cats. They lived on a planet called Fundera, which was dying. So Off they popped in their spaceship. Oh,
Crash land on Third Earth.
they do. They crash land on Third Earth. They're in their stasis pods. They've survived, but Lion-O, the young, soon-to-be Lord of the Thundercats, his pod's gone wrong, and he's
He grows up.
basically a kid in a grown-up's body.
Yes, and that was a good sort of crux of the show, was that he was basically a child in a leadership role, which is why
And you got to grow up.
that was kind of the whole learning lesson of the show, was that he's learning this shit and it's kind of trying to pass that message on to the people watching it. And I love that about the show. It was like, how would someone with the mind of an 8-year-old take a leadership role?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's wacky premise, but brilliant show.
And the mutants of Planet Plunder are after them.
Yes, led by the evil Mum-Ra.
Actually, no. The Mum-Ra was already on Third Earth.
Oh, yes.
Third Earth.
Yes.
But then them pesky Thundercats turn up and start fucking shit up, and the mutants follow on, and they team up with
that was it. Yes, yes. But I remember having the toys of this as a kid.
So did I.
I had the role play sword where it lit up. You pressed the button.
Oh, nice. I didn't have that.
Yeah, it wasn't really all that impressive. It was about this big. It was not, even in a child's hand, it looked like a large butter knife.
Yeah.
It was not anything to sing home about. But it was just cool, the fact that you could actually like pull your finger onto a button and it would light up the symbol. Holding it up and doing that, like,
the Eye of Thundera.
Yes, doing that, like, you got the vibe of it. It was fun, but nothing special.
I thought this was a good show. Full series. Lasted until 1989.
Yes, it did go on for quite a few years.
Yeah, so box sets cost a pretty penny, but
yeah, I did have the season 1 complete collection at one point, but in the process of moving, it disappeared down the cracks. So I'm kind of a bit peeved about that, because every time I've tried to replace it, all I can find is season 1, volume 1, not season 1 complete set. Yeah. So it's like, if I'm buying season 1, I want it all in one go. I don't want it.
Yeah, too right. But again, good animation, good stories. Obviously, trials and tribulations of young man thrust into a leadership role because Jaga died during the journey, their original leader.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, you got a good range of characters apart from Snarf, who is
Snarf can get the fucking bin.
Yeah, Snarf in the bin along with Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
I think, you know what? I'm gonna have a camp for all the fucking annoying cartoon characters where they can go and get fucking murdered.
Yes. We'll send them to the void in Deadpool and Wolverine. We'll send them all there.
Yeah.
They can get
done
by Eliath.
Yeah, Room 101.
Yeah, Room 101 with those cartoon characters. We'll have to do it. We should do an episode like that, actually. That's
Snarf, Scrappy, Care Bears, all the My Little Ponies. Shot.
Right, moving quickly on. My last pick, and to be honest, I didn't realize how old this character was. Yes, I know. I'm running low on space. Thank you. But I didn't realize how old this pick was. My friend, shout out to Amy J. She helped me pick this one out because I was like, I did think about that one. I didn't realize this character was this old. From 1919, Felix the Cat.
Oh, my life.
Yes, Felix and his little magic bag of tricks, his bag that could turn into anything he needed it to turn into. I do remember this character more from the movie that came out in 1989. But I remember seeing some of the cartoons from back in the day. They're, like I said, it's 105 years old at this point. quite possibly, I think, the oldest pick we've ever had on any
I'd say so, yeah.
episodes from 1919. I think the only one that beats it is Nosferatu when we talked about that.
Yeah.
So, it's pushing it as far back as we possibly can. But yeah, Felix the Cat, for me, is just one of those cartoons that I remember bits and pieces from my childhood, and it just lights me up. I don't know why, just something about this character just lights me up. It's a cat with a bag that turns into whatever his imagination can think it to be.
Yeah.
Like, there's something so innocent about that. So, Felix the Cat, there you go.
Marvellous.
That's my choice. The oldest pick we've ever had.
Indeed.
From 1919. So, around about the same time that Tony was celebrating his 40th. He's going to unfollow me one of these days for my fucking age comments, I swear to God.
He probably will, yeah.
Going to kick my ass if he sees me in person.
No, he won't. He'll run away going, I can't deal with social interaction.
But that was my final pick of the night.
Marvellous. Have you got any honourable mentions?
To be honest, honourable mentions, we've talked about them sort of in passing throughout this episode anyway. Some of them were mentioned at the beginning, like Mask was going to be one of my picks.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those cartoons that is now just sort of starting to get a bit more recognition for was back in the day. Like there's
been fucking cool
talks of new toy lines coming out to do with it. Hasbro, because they own the rights to it, they're seeing how good their G.I. Joe and their HasLab G.I. Joe vehicles are doing. They're like, we release the figures and then we do the vehicles through HasLab.
Oh my God, hold on.
One of those cases where, like,
bit me.
getting a bit more popularity. But other than that, all the cartoons I wanted to mention have been mentioned already.
Yeah. Okay.
You're having some serious kitty cat trouble there, aren't you, Guy?
He doesn't want to get off me tonight. He's getting really heavy because he's a fat little one. I just fat shamed a cat.
Oh, dear. So, any honourable mentions on your side, Guy?
Yeah, will you stop licking your arsehole?
I don't remember that cartoon.
Sorry. So, yeah, I was going to...
What channel was that on?
I was fairly niche. I think it was Czechoslovakian. Stop licking your arsehole. Okay. No, okay, that's enough for that. We'll get chucked off. So, we'll talk about the raccoons. Remember the raccoons?
Oh, fuck.
Bit of a Saturday morning staple.
One of those ones that until someone brings it up, you go, oh, I haven't thought about that in years.
Yeah.
The theme song alone.
Yeah. Back when cartoons had epic theme songs.
Yes. Back when cartoons had, intros.
I wasn't a huge fan of DuckTales. Sorry, I'm getting told off.
Oh, okay. DuckTales, yeah. I'll go with the adjudicator on that one. DuckTales, that's an honourable mention from me as well. Gizmo Duck. Gizmo Duck was my spirit animal back in the day. Don't know why.
And because we can do retro cartoons and not mention the works of Cosgrove Hall, so Danger Mouse for me will be my pick of Cosgrove Hall.
I love Danger Mouse, even to this day, watching those old episodes.
Yeah, the old episodes, not the new episodes.
Yeah, the originals. I love those original shows. To this day, one thing that always still pops in my head when I think of Danger Mouse is he's just headbutted his way through a wall, and Penfold goes, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "I'm fine. Didn't feel a thing." Just instantly collapses. It's like, it's a cartoon, but that's visual comedy, and I love visual comedy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's it. It's the two perfect blendings. So yeah, Danger Mouse.
Terry Scott and David Jason.
Yes. I actually had a teacher, a substitute teacher at school that we nicknamed Penfold because he always wore a shirt and a blazer that come down to his knuckles like Penfold used to. And he had a bald head. He had a balding head with little round.
Oh, wow.
It was Penfold come to life. Every time he walked in the classroom, I had to look away. I was like, no, I can't have a lesson with Penfold. I can't.
Just a shame about Terry Scott, but what can you do? apparently horrible man. And a bit of a toucher, if you know what
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for retro cartoons then, Guy.
Yeah, that will do us. We are now halfway through Retro-Vember.
Well, we're at the final hurdle. Next week, retro video games, and that's it. That's Retro-Vember. Clocked off. Yeah. So, out to the audience, retro video games, if you were a gamer of any kind of talk, whether it was hardcore gamer, casual gamer, sit alone in your bedroom gamer, waggling your joystick back and forth. Please let us know in the comments and tell us some of your favorite retro games.
Yes.
I have been that bitch Callista Valentine. He has been.
I've been random man with a plan sometimes. Guy JB.
Mostly goes off script there. But we shall catch you in the next episode, guys. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Take it easy, y'all.